guys, I'm Connie. I'm a student from UCSI University. I'm currently doing a Bachelor of Contemporary Music and majoring in vocal. It almost feels as if it was just yesterday when I was on my own on the plane, not really knowing what to expect but excited for what the future has for me. Now I'm back home with a ton of memories and a lot of stories to share with you guys. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my experience of being a student representative in Yogyakarta, Indonesia, and also some of the things that I have learned about gamelan music. One of the best features of this gamelan project is the chance to make new friends for a lifetime. I made a lot of friends from Philippines, Japan, Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, and Malaysia. It was very fun when we were together because we saw how language and skin color didn't matter. We were all the same and we even got to bond right away because we were all going through the same things as music students, so we talk about the differences at our school, our music, our cultures, and our countries. Every culture has its own form of music that is enjoyed by all ages on every continent. Although each culture is different, but music can unify all races, and it has been used throughout history for different occasions and enjoyment purposes. Through this gamelan project, it also helped me to understand that there are countless ways that music can sound like and be meaningful. Because different kinds of music often involve different instruments, different scales, different rhythms, different ways of participating, and different ways of thinking. I was so excited to learn a new music because I never played gamelan before. In day one, we all went to Institute Seni Indonesia to meet the instruments and learn the basics. During the first rehearsal, our gamelan instructor Pak Anon was there. He talked about the history of gamelan, introduced and demonstrate the sounds of each of the instruments, and he also explained about the notation, structure, and tuning system of gamelan. Gamelan derives from the word gamil, which refers to strike or to handle. It is a generic term referring to an ensemble which comprises predominantly of percussive instruments. However, the vocal music has an important role in the development of gamelan as well. In gamelan music, there are two types of principal styles. The first one is called Balinese gamelan and the second one is Javanese gamelan. And for your information, gamelan is not an instrument but a whole set of instruments that are tuned to each other and played together by a group of musicians. Often in Indonesian traditional thinking, the gamelan is sacred and is believed to have supernatural power. Both musicians and non-musicians are humble and respectful to the gamelan because it is believed that each of the instruments in the gamelan is guided by the spirit. Thus, the musicians have to take off their shoes when they play gamelan, and it is also forbidden to step over any instrument because it might offend the spirits by doing so. And in Javanese gamelan, the most important instrument is called gong agin because the Javanese musicians believe that the gong agin is the main spirit of the entire gamelan. For your information, gong agin is the largest hanging gongs in Javanese gamelan, and it is also the lowest pitch gong in gamelan. For gamelan, there are two main tuning systems, slendro and pelok. In slendro scale, they always have 5 different pitches and they number them 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, then back to 1. Slendro is essentially a pentatonic scale, but to the Westerner ears, it can sound very out of tune because most of the Western instruments using 12 note, 12 chromatic scale, but for the gamelan instruments, we cannot divide it into 5 equal parts. For the pelok, we have 7 tones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it is important to note that the slendro and pelok tuning system that show in Western notation is an approximate, not an absolute, because there are no standard forms of tuning. Traditionally, gamelan musicians have always learned gamelan as an oral tradition. They learn and memorize a piece by hearing it play and practicing it themselves. There is a written cipher notation for gamelan. However, notation is not generally used by Javanese musicians, but it may be used by others, such as ethnomusicologists and foreign students learning gamelan. Gamelan notation is written in numbers with special characters. Music is not notated in a score for all the instruments, so one generally sees the balungan, which means the melody part. Other parts can be notated, but this can be difficult to read. The first structure that I have learned is called lancaran. Lancaran is one of the gunting structures used in Javanese gamelan music. The first lancaran I learned is in pelok scale. Puka refers to the opening melody. And for the part, this is one of the sections of a gamelan music, and these sessions are usually repeated and can be repeated as often as desired. Balongan is the core melody, usually played by balongan instruments such as the saron family and the slendem. Lagu is the inner melody. It can mean the multi-octave balongan or a more implicit melody. In the first rehearsal, we get a chance to try out all the instruments and get different experience. However, due to we only have short amount of time to prepare for the performance, we need to choose one or two instruments to practice, and one of the instruments that I assigned to play is called bonang. Bonang is a leading melodic instrument in gamelan pelok and usually performs the puka of pieces in that tuning system. In day 2, we learned to play another lancaran piece called Gambang Suling, rearranged by Pak Anon. This piece is more fun to play because the arrangement is more contemporary and it involves some body movements and shouting. Gamelan music had an interesting influence on Western music. The Western world has become increasingly interested in unique and exotic forms of music. Some artists in the West have adopted a few traits from gamelan and incorporated them into their own Western music. For instance, John Cage and his work with the prepared piano, Claude Debussy, Benjamin Britten, and Colin McVie. And even newly developed electronic music have elements of gamelan integrated into their music. In day 3, Pak Anon wants us to compose a song based on the lancaran form in 5 minutes. I was so shocked. We got together to brainstorm ideas and 3 of the students began to compose the puka part, and then the rest of the students composed the umbak and lagu together. 5 minutes later, boom, we composed a song called Lancaran Seadom. And the next day we need to fully memorize all 3 songs. In day 4, we had 2 rehearsals before the show, and in the afternoon we attended a conference as a participant. I was very nervous for the show, but at the same time I feel very excited for being part of this project. The experience from start to finish was outstanding, absolutely fantastic. I will never forget the experience working with all the students from different countries. We learn, we practice, we laugh together. All this experience is something that I will always treasure. For the day 5 and day 6, we meet a lot of professional people from other countries. We split it into a smaller group, learn what is happening in the higher education institutes in neighboring countries, and also exchange valuable information with each other. I'm really grateful for being part of this project, for being able to learn valuable lessons from people all over the world, and I really enjoy the international perspective that I gained from the Congress. Completing this student gamelan project has impacted on my future. The first one is new lifelong friendships. I now feel much more comfortable approaching strangers and find it easy to form new friendships. The building of my interpersonal skills will help me greatly in my future, as I feel like I can now communicate easily with anyone. Besides that, I also discover what kind of path I want to make in my music career, and having the opportunity to travel overseas has given me greater awareness of my own nationality identity. It has also allowed me to widen my perspective and become self-sufficient. I'm now always think about things from a broader point of view. My world has been expanded significantly, and with it, I have expanded as a person. Well, I also realized that there are places in our own communities that have so much rich cultures and history that can inspire us and teach us about the people that we share the world with. If you want to travel around the world and gain amazing experiences and meet new people, I suggest we can start in our own towns and cities. We live with billions of people in this earth. We have so much to learn and share with one another. And this is what our world needs. We don't need everyone to be the exact same carbon copy of one another. We should instead embrace and celebrate how special and different we already are. Well, we have come to the end of the video. I hope you learned something today. If you have any question, you can leave a comment below. Thank you for watching.